Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be counting down the top 5 trucks in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now how trucks are going to be getting onto this list is how popular they are versus how underrated some other trucks are. They're also going to be getting onto this list based on looks and also of course based on performance. Anyway guys, let's get right into it, starting off with number 5. Alright guys, at number 5, starting off strong, we have the Vapid Guardian. Now the Vapid Guardian is a super underrated truck in Grand Theft Auto Online. I know a lot of people in the truck community know a lot about this car, but I feel like generally the population of Grand Theft Auto does not know very much about the Vapid Guardian. It only costs $375,000, and for that you do get an amazing truck. This thing is a 6-seater. It sits 4 people in the main cab, of course, and then also in the box, if you climb in here, it has these seats which you can sit on inside of the actual box. Now that's not even mentioning that the Vapid Guardian actually has pretty decent performance. It's not the fastest truck, but it's also not the slowest. The Vapid Guardian is definitely capable of moving those pesky civilian vehicles out of your way when you're absolutely plowing down a road in Grand Theft Auto. The Vapid Guardian is an excellent truck, and I would recommend that everybody watching this goes and picks one up. It's fantastic. Anyway guys, let's move right into number 4. Alright guys, next up at number 4, we have the truck that we all think about when we think about trucks in Grand Theft Auto Online, the Vapid Sand King XL. Now obviously you can get this thing off of the street for absolutely no cost to you, or you can get it off of Southern San Andreas Super Autos for very, very cheap. Now the Vapid Sand King XL is an absolute classic in Grand Theft Auto Online. However, it's not the best performer, which is why it's ranked higher on this list. I only put it ahead of the Vapid Guardian simply based on the fact that everybody knows the Vapid Sand King XL or the Vapid Sand King in general. It's an amazing truck, everybody knows just what this thing can do. However, on like a racetrack or something like that, not that you would really ever take a truck racing, but the performance is overshadowed by another few vehicles in Grand Theft Auto Online. However, I do think that the Sand King is one of the best off-roaders and one of the best trucks in Grand Theft Auto Online, hence it being on this list. But there are just a few trucks that are just a little bit better or maybe a little bit cooler. With that being said, I would absolutely recommend picking up a Sand King XL, but I'm sure that most of you guys, if you clicked on this video, probably already have one. Anyway guys, that's it for number 4. Let's move right into number 3. Alright guys, at number 3, we have the Bravado Bison. Now this thing, you're probably saying, why the hell is this ahead of the Sand King? I think it's just a little bit more underrated, and I'm not saying the performance off-road is better, but I do think that the performance of this thing in general, especially in a top speed scenario, is a lot better than the Sand King XL. This truck is actually very, very quick, believe it or not, and unlike the Sand King XL, but similar to the Vapid Guardian, it is actually a 6-seater. So you can sit 4 in the main cab, and it is, to my knowledge, the only other truck like this. It has these seats in the back where 2 more people can sit, just like the Vapid Guardian. Actually, now that I think about it, there's one more truck that actually does have those, and that is the Dubsta 6x6. So, there you go. But, the Bison is a very, very good vehicle. I never see anyone driving them in online. So, you know, that also could just be because there's a lot better trucks out there, or because nobody really drives trucks anymore in Grand Theft Auto Online. If you're a diehard truck guy in Grand Theft Auto, I'm sure you probably know about the Bison, and you know what it's capable of. I think it's a sick truck. I would love to see them add a diesel version and maybe a bigger version similar to the Sand King XL, but maybe the Bison XL. Make it sort of like a Ram 3500. I think that would be amazing. I'd love to see Rockstar do that. Anyway guys, that's it for number 3. Let's move right into number 2. Alright guys, next up at number 2, we have the Canis Camacho. Now the Canis Camacho has a lot of good things about it. First of all, I'm going to start off with the customization that you can do. There is an absolute ton. This thing is probably the most customizable car on this entire list, or most customizable truck, I should say, I guess. You can do pretty much anything you want to this thing. If you want to have it with a roof, you can have it with a roof. If you want it with an open top, like I've got mine, you can do that too. If you want to change the exhausts, you want to change the side steps, you want to change the rear bumper, you want to change the front bumper, the skid plate, pretty much you name it, you can change it on this car. You can even add in little bags into the back of it if you want to. You can change the hood. pretty much you can do anything with this truck, which I absolutely love. Second best thing about it is the performance. The performance of this thing is almost unrivaled. It might be one of the best trucks in the game. It's definitely one of the best trucks in the game. I'm not sure where exactly it ranks, but I personally use my Camacho as my off-road racing truck. So, you know, it does pretty well for me. I can't say I win every single time, but I do win a decent amount of the time, and a lot of it is due to just how well this thing performs. It has great handling, great acceleration. It even sounds amazing, which I know isn't a performance thing, but it does sound incredible as well. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about the looks of the car overall. I do think that it's pretty cool, but you know, I think that Rockstar maybe could have done a little bit better. However, I don't mind it. I think it does just look really aggressive, and it just looks like everything on it sort of belongs with it. So I have no beef with the Canis Camacho. Honestly, it could be at number 1, but there's one truck that I just think is a little tiny bit better. And of course, with this thing, you can also sit 4 people, so that's always a added bonus, of course. Overall, the Canis Camacho, great truck, guys. Would highly recommend picking one of these things up, especially if you need a truck for off-road events in races, or for, you know, just truck racing, I guess, in free mode or whatever you want. So it's a very capable vehicle. It's very good at off-roading as well. Nothing bad about it. Anyway, guys, let's move right into number 1. All right, guys, and at number 1, we have the Vapid Caracara 4x4, of course. Now, I gotta admit, before we get into this whole thing, the Camacho and the Caracara both have extremely similar performance. Either one of them could have been swapped in for first or second. However, I do think that the Caracara just looks a little tiny bit better, because I think it looks a lot more realistic than the Canis Camacho. My one beef with this thing is, why the hell did Rockstar make it so skinny? It's so skinny. This thing should be like at least, you know, 6 inches wider, I feel like, because it kind of looks like a pencil or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so skinny, but at the same time, it looks amazing, and I'm not going to knock it any more than just it being way too skinny looking. Other than that, it is absolutely incredible. This thing also has a absolute ton of customization, just like the Camacho. The performance, like I mentioned, is amazing as well. Overall, the Caracara and the Camacho are by far the best trucks in the game, I would say. There's a couple other trucks that, you know, you can maybe swap in, but they don't look as good as the Caracara or the Camacho, that's for sure. Overall, I do think that the Caracara is deserving of first place, because it's just so good looking, and honestly, Rockstar did a great job with this thing. Could they have done a little tiny bit better? Sure, but for what it is, I have no complaints. This thing's fantastic at off-roading. This thing's fantastic on the road. It's fantastic to look at. It sounds good. Honestly, I can't really find anything wrong with it other than it's skinny, but that's fine. Anyway, guys, I think that's pretty much it for this list. Let me know what you thought of my list in the comments down below. I'm interested to see if there's any trucks that I missed or that I overlooked. I'm sure there are, and I'm sure you guys are going to let me know about them in the comments down below, which I look forward to reading. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it or if you learned something. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.